Hello, thanks for joining me. It's Sunday the 4th of December and I'm about to give you a 2-card tarot reading which I hope will help and guide you for today. Okay, I'm using my Crystal Vision cards. They're a nice pack of cards. So, oh, that's interesting. That card, I just noticed it was round the wrong way and then it just flew out into my hand. So let's see what we've got. Right, so that was the card that was round the wrong way in the pack and I noticed it as I was shuffling and then it kind of stuck to my hand. So clearly wanted to be heard. That is the 9 of Swords. And with it, I got the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, very different energies in that card. I'm noticing birds in both of them. Obviously we've got the crows there, but in this one we've got a little bird that's actually helping. And I don't know why I'm very drawn to suddenly talking about the birds in these cards, because I suppose I was trying to find a connection between the two. And this little bird here has got a berry in its mouth and you can see that it's trying to help these people as they're growing and building the foundations of their life. Whereas in this one, the crows are sitting on each of those swords and there's one crow just sitting down by this lady who seems to be resting or sleeping on that rock. Okay, sometimes when I get readings, I wouldn't say my mind goes blank, but I can see that I'm being guided in a particular way to talk about something and I'm not quite sure what the message is. And it can be very frustrating as a tarot reader to get that kind of block, especially when you're trying to explain something to someone and you're sitting there thinking, what is it that I'm actually trying to say? And the fact that I'm feeling a little bit like I'm all out of answers perhaps ties in with this 9 of Swords energy. It looks like she's all out of answers, doesn't it, as well? But there are times when that can make us quite anxious. And the 9 of Swords card does often indicate somebody that's awake at night, maybe suffering with a bit of insomnia or just something's on their mind and they can't quite shake it. So the fact that I'm suddenly not knowing what to think or not knowing what to say is actually part of the message. But what I'm not going to do is panic and get stressed. I'm going to I feel like I need to just take a really nice deep breath and not worry too much about that. Not worry about the fact that I don't know what the next sentence is that's going to come out of my mouth. And yeah, now I'm saying that, I'm going to leave this card just for a little while and I am going to connect with this 9 of Swords because as I'm tapping into the energy of this card, I'm slowing down my speech and I'm slowing down my thoughts and I'm just taking a moment. So that's the very important message of this card. I could have looked at it and thought, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to ramble off. And you know, we all do that, don't we? We all feel like we've got to know all the answers and we don't. Or you feel like you've got to have a plan and a structure and map your life out and know exactly what you're doing. And you don't. You don't. It's okay to just not know. It's okay to not be that okay or just not know what to think for a little while. You haven't got to have all the answers, I think, is the really important message of this. Now, I said earlier that I was drawn to the birds, and I said in this card that bird is helping. So what if that was actually the message for this card and these birds were actually helping as well? And let's say that the swords are thoughts or thought processes or things that this person is worrying about to the point where she's collapsed and resting on that stone and thinking, I've got so many different thoughts in my head, I just don't know which one to start. So let's imagine that each one of those crows is a helper in each of those things. So if that's the case, have a think about what you're maybe anxious about, what you're worrying about, what is weighing you down, and imagine that for each of those worries or thoughts and anxieties, there is someone or something within you that can help with that situation. because I feel that there's quite a structure to that, that, you know, for every thought there is a crow, for every sword there's a crow, so for every thought there is a thought process that can get us out of the heaviness that we're feeling. So I'm going to bring this card in now as well, the Three of Pentacles. And these people seem very focused on one task. The guy is doing something here, whether he's making a table or something, I'm not quite sure. And she's working with this vine and these pentacles, and of course there's the little helper bird there gathering some food for them. They are very focused on just doing one thing at a time. They've obviously got a big project ahead of them. It looks like they're building some sort of house, or, you know, they're working on some sort of project. And that can be quite overwhelming, or if you've got lots of different things going on, it can be quite overwhelming. But I do feel the message here is just to do one thing at a time. Just deal with one thing at a time, because if you try to deal with all of these swords and all of these thoughts at one time, it would just be too much. And I know I do that quite a lot, and it helps when I just write down what I need to do, or just take a minute every day when I go home from my muggle job that I have, because I have to try and be normal for a few days a week and go to a muggle job, I call it. Before I go home, I write down everything I need to do for the next day, and then I'm not bringing it home with me and thinking, oh, I must do that, I must do that, I must do that. And yeah, and if I suddenly think of something at home that I've got to do at work, I just email myself, and then it just goes out of my head and I haven't got to worry about it. So, you know, we've all got these wonderful tricks with us, haven't we, that stops us worrying about things, or things whirling around our minds and never going away. But I do feel the overall message for these two cards combined is just do one thing at a time. And I don't want to go on and on and on about that, because I think it would lose the message somehow. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit anxious, I hope that helps. If you're feeling the run up to Christmas that you have to be in 6 different places at once, then just bear that in mind. You don't have to be Superwoman or Superman all the time. You can just deal with one thing at a time. And there are, of course, people all around you that will be able to help you if needed. And I know not everyone likes asking for help, but there is help out there if you ask for it. Okay, well, I hope that message helps you for today and the week ahead, and I'll be back again tomorrow for another reading. So thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.